Hello, hola, aquí estamos. We're here.
Hola.
I'm blessed as
Hola.
Alicia Kaplan to be working with these wonderful actors. And I will introduce them, and they will tell you about the play from their perspective and also about themselves. This will be in English because the play is in English. Maybe later we'll do it in Spanish or we'll put bilingual. Anyway, here we are. We are in New York City, and I'm with this beautiful lady, even more beautiful with makeup on. Nina, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from and what you do. And ahí empezamos. We'll start like that.
Wow, thank you for that introduction. Yeah,
Okay.
so my name is Nina Jackson. I was raised in Dominican Republic, but I am New York based from 10 years already. And yeah, so I started acting back home and now just very excited to jump in with these two magnificent people that I have in front of.
Well, great, great. So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce Frank, and he's going to say a couple of words, and then we'll just have a conversation.
Okie
Frank,
dokie. Hello.
hey.
What can I say? I am originally from the Midwest, Wisconsin, but my family is deeply Mexican, Hispanic, as they say. Uh, Studied acting, and now I'm here with these wonderful people doing this amazing play. The play's really close to my heart. It's one of the first plays that, really helped me see what sort of works I can be a part of, with my background and with uh, the peculiarities of growing up the way that some of us did, second generation or first generation immigrants, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think it's an important play, and I'm really really happy to be a part of it.
Well, we're very happy to have you. Let me put you all on. We're in the gallery, so to speak, so we can talk to each other. Anyway, okay. So this is a wonderful play. It is close to your heart. It's close to my heart because I think it's universal. It has a lot to do with Latino or Hispanic or Latinx people. But I think if you are in another country or you're an immigrant, most of these things stand true. So you introduced me to this play, Nina. So tell me a little. Tell me a little about the play from your perspective.
So back in 2020, where everybody was trying to make sense of the pandemic, I was like, well, let me just keep my mind busy reading plays. And then as I was searching plays, I read the plot, and then I see that it's about this Mexican writer, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I ended up reading it at once, and I just love the fact that it's very rare to see Latin stories reading with those type of characters and see characters the way they think and the way that they express themselves, and have this contrast in their conversations. And I just feel that, just like you guys, I relate a lot to how they feel.
Well, that's great. That's great. Frank,
Yeah, I would say I'll be honest with you, I kind of judged the play kind of by its cover initially. I just thought Fade was a cool title. Then I actually read it, and I was just so surprised by how accurate it was in depicting like my experience, and I know a lot of people like I grew up with, you know, because it definitely has that sort of like quick style banter to it, and I think that's really important. A lot of people that I've talked to say that it's really realistic, in the way that it handles the way Spanglish is like, doled out, like kind of sprinkled throughout, like that's just the way that that we talk, as immigrants, as second generation immigrants, sons of immigrants, that sort of thing. And that's really kind of like what stayed with me, was that these characters were realistic and they weren't just, like one dimensional. It's kind of like a meta commentary, because in the play, that's some of the situations they deal with, is the fact that they're trying to deal with the history of how we're portrayed in culture and in movies and television shows. And I was really drawn to the character of Abel, because he's a guy with like a lot of history, and what was most important to me was the fact that he was a human being first and foremost, and not necessarily, a Mexican character. you
Right.
know I think sometimes that can get, really lost. And I think really, if people are going to connect with this story, they're going to connect with the human aspects of it first and foremost. And I think that's really important to making a long ways into, like, just connecting with everyone regardless of skin color or race or, creed. The fact that this is a human story and not necessarily, just a Hispanic story.
Right. Right.
How about you, Alicia? What drawn you to it? What did you like about it, and how do you feel about the
Well,
character?
I love it. I love it. I'm a person, I consider myself an in very international person. Um, my parents, my grandparents, they're from different parts of Europe. I grew up in Venezuela. Um, at some point, even here I was this little blonde, blue-eyed chick in school. I was so shy, I would never talk. I felt that I was a duck out of water, but
Mm.
it doesn't matter where I was. I was in one school which was in English, and I was still shy. They put me in the school that was in Spanish. I was even more shy, and that's what I can feel with people that immigrate anywhere. I mean, I have a grandmother that came when she was 12 years old from Galicia. She probably had family here. We don't know too much. My grandparents are long gone. Um, I have my mother who grew up in New York, and she felt prejudiced because of her religion, believe it or not. I have children that are half Mexican. I actually lived in Mexico. I know, and my in-laws, everybody Mexican, so I know a lot about the culture. I've been in the Hispanic theater, all my life from the age of 18, and we've worked with everybody. I've had a company that we've given opportunities to immigrants that come here, and they want to be actors and they want to do something. So this play, to get back to your main question, without, I gave you a little background information about me. It really appeals to me in very many ways. Also, as a woman, not only is your character, she's Mexican, she's in United States. She feels discrimination. She feels that maybe she's given her opportunity not because of her talents. I mean, we're not going to tell the whole story here because we want people to come see it. But I think everybody can learn a lot from this play, because so many points, and also the fact of being a woman, being a young woman in mostly a male dominated, this is male dominated, the writers' rooms. Even though now, we could say little things have changed. Also with the Latino stuff, there's also that I love the scenes between you both, because there's such a difference in style
Hmm.
in the characters, in your acting, and you both confront certain things. Like Nina's character, you say something, and he catches you. Here's this guy, Frank's character. He's the janitor, right? But he seems to be smarter than you in everything. And of course, you try to squeeze out his story. I mean, and then we see that people have to really come see this because I'm not going to say the whole thing. You have to take out the story, and we have to see what happens in the end. I mean, both of the characters have their backgrounds, things that have happened to them, things that they have lived through, and I think we're in the beginning stages of our rehearsals, and I think it's going very well. I think you probably are discovering a lot of things.
Yeah, when it comes to theater, and that's what fascinates me about theater, it's that process of discovery, the conversations that we have every rehearsal, the opinions that we make, and yeah, just basically discovering it, and the joy of feeling that you had like an epiphany and feeling that you got out of rehearsal getting something new. And like you said, and it's been beautiful just seeing your style of directing, Frank's style of acting, and just have this synergy. And I think it's so beautiful. It's very fulfilling.
Right, it is. It's beautiful. I'm one, I don't know. I'm not a director that screams at anybody or wants everybody to do their performance right away. I'm
Right.
more like, let's see what you do. And my job is to see the overall picture and help you along your voyage to discover your character.
Yeah, and I think that's great having that freedom, having that chance of you bringing your own artistic view, and I think I truly appreciate that in a director.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate working with talented actors that take direction. And sometimes you do something and then it doesn't work. So let's retool, rewind, and do something else. So, anything else you want to say about for people to come see us, come see our work?
Well, I would just say, this play really is about anyone who's ever felt, maybe a little weird at their first job, maybe a little outed by, I'm sure many people have felt this, by their own culture at times, or even, by the country they're living in at large. Like that's why I love this play. This play is about universal themes that, we've all gone through, regardless of color, of race, of what have you.
I
Um,
love that. I love that
yeah,
view.
yeah,
It
I
really
really,
is. It really is. It's about that. It's about race. It's about being a woman. It's about first jobs.
yeah,
It's about feeling it's about feeling bad about things and taking everything, really hard. And it's also about what we live through as people.
Identity.
Look at Frank's backstory. I mean, his character. I'm not sure
right,
about your backstory. I have to find out about your backstory. I mean,
right,
we
right, right.
all have a backstory. We've all lived through
Yeah,
things that as actors, as artists, we can use them. I mean, if we're going to be in a play and we have that emotional life, we have the emotional that we have gone through. I mean, I remember years ago, I mean, I was being separated. I had 2 kids, and they put me in this play, Sara en el Traspatio, a Cuban play. And then I had these emotional scenes, like I let what I was feeling work for me. It was like a
hmm
therapy.
right.
So, anyway, do we want to invite people? Queremos invitar a la gente. Queremos invitar a la gente hispana también.
Oh, definitely. And also, it's funny. So, if you want to get away from the sometimes misery of the world, it's quite funny as well.
Let's go suffer other people's misery.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
I just wanted to say, uh, to me, art is about what feels relevant and have like a sense of identity. I feel that that play has that. I think it's more relevant than ever without saying a lot. I just feel that by watching the play, you will see that, yeah, identity, politics, being a woman, first day, like it's so much, and it's relevant and more relevant than ever. So and I think it's interesting. It's like an acting duel since it's just the two of us, and I think
Mhm.
it's and I kind of like and I like those kind of plays where you just see two actors trying to bring the best they can.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
So we are going to leave it at that because this is not the last time we're doing this. So we hope to see you all, and we'll see you all again. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, porque nos vamos a ver pronto.
Ahí la
And
dejamos.
Ahí la dejamos en suspenso.
nos vemos ahorita. No se vayan ustedes.